But you never went off on your own either.
I was 21 when I got pregnant and 22 when I had Sam.
Yes.
My neighbor doesn't smoke weed, and I was shit-faced last week and whatever. And
I was looking for support from him because I was just in pieces about David.
that
No,
that
all the
one
girls
year
were
when
having
fucking
sure.
Sean lived with me, my average credit card bill.
Like I said, I met both of them in 1988, and they were both recently divorced, both rolling hard.
I've only done that half a dozen times maybe in my life where I've said shit fucked up like that.
Blame it on me because no matter what, I can go fucking sit in jail. I don't give a fuck. He's like, your mom will be taken care of. I get $6,000 a month from pensions. She'll be just fine. Hello there. Welcome to episode 4 of Beer, Booze, and BS. I am here today with my beautiful niece, Marie Mack.
Hi, everybody.
And of course, my buddy Paulie
Oi.
is here with us again today, co-hosting with me. Not really sure how this is all going to go today because we have a lot of catching up to do, and
We do.
a lot of, even though she's been my niece through marriage for I don't know, however long, 20, 30 years now.
Yep.
I got to thinking and writing this script up. I'm like, I don't really know you. Like,
Yeah.
I know you, but I don't really know you. So let's get started.
Okay.
She is my niece through marriage. I was married to her uncle and Jim Bonhoff, and her dad was Steve Bonhoff. So that's how we are related. I don't even know this. Where were you born at, Marie?
I was born in Robbinsdale,
Okay.
at North Memorial.
Okay.
My mom worked there for 43 years, so she
I
had
didn't
all
know
of
that
us
was the
kids
hospital
there.
she worked at.
Yeah, yep. 43 years she was there.
That's the hospital Jim died at.
It is.
Yeah. I hate that place.
Yes, I know. And I don't.
Yeah, I did not know that. I had to go to Robbinsdale Hospital for the first time last summer when my mom was in there. I'm
Oh,
like, I did not want. I used to have full-blown panic attacks just driving by there
Did
after
you?
he died. Yes.
Yeah.
Like I remember one time Mike and I were out riding our motorcycles. I just realized where we were. I had seen the hospital and I'm
Right.
like full-blown panic attack. I had to pull over and like hyperventilating and stuff like that. But yeah, I hate that hospital.
and my dad was at Mercy when he passed,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I was happy about that because I didn't think I'd be able to go to North Memorial.
Oh,
Like,
okay. I wouldn't have thought about that.
So anyway, your mom and dad,
Yep.
were they married before they had you, or did you come afterward?
I came afterwards. They had been married for, I think, 6 or 7 years.
Really?
They got married when they were both 20.
Okay.
And I think my mom was 26 or 27 when she had me.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
So they had a solid marriage for at least.
Oh, no, it wasn't solid
Well,
at all. No, there was nothing
but I
solid
mean,
about
they
it.
stayed together.
They did.
worked
They did.
together.
My mom tried hard. Really
Uh,
hard.
And so, how old were you when they got divorced?
I was 7.
Okay.
Yep.
And why did they get divorced?
I mean, I decided today I was just gonna be brutally honest, even if
No,
it doesn't sound nice.
absolutely.
So, my dad just really struggled with addiction.
Right.
He struggled with chemicals, he struggled with alcohol, and he had a lot of women on the side.
Yeah.
And so it was a lot for my mom to go through. I think she said while they were together in their marriage, he went through treatment like 6 or 7 times.
Oh,
Really?
shit.
Yeah.
That's aggressive.
So she definitely
Yeah,
wanted
I
to
think
work out the marriage.
I think my son holds the cake. I think it's 26 or 27 times.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
really?
Yes.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know anyone that's gone through treatment more than Colt.
No, I guess I don't either. But
That's aggressive.
yeah.
But,
But
whatever
they really
takes,
tried.
fuck.
Yeah, they
I
tried.
don't even know if it was treatment that worked because clearly 26 times he knew the system.
He had the skills and the
Him
tools he
meaning
needed.
Shannon was,
That's
think
what it was.
the
Treatment enough.
good woman, I don't know. I credit Shannon to helping him get sober. So where did your relationship go like after the divorce then with your dad? Did you see him a lot? Or did he kind of just go?
He went and kind
Haywire.
of did his own thing. The only times that we saw him was when he showed up. And he didn't, he was supposed to show up all the time. I mean, I remember being little and waiting by the door,
Yeah.
sitting by the phone, and he just never show up. But I knew that he loved me,
Yeah.
and my mom was pretty open and upfront about the stuff that he was going through, as much as you can be with a child that age, I think.
Yes.
You were
So
7 at that age? Oh,
And
That's
Dave
little.
was how old?
Mm.
Yeah. 5.
No, Dave and I are almost 3 years apart, so he'd have been 4.
So.
Yep.
And Michelle.
And Michelle was
Just a
born when
baby.
I remember them signing their divorce papers and me being in like
The
outside of the room holding Michelle, who was a newborn.
holy fuck.
So, my uncles from my mom's side called me the mother because I took care of.
Get into that. I'm
Yeah.
like, you're super motherly. Like you are. You're always. That's why I'm honestly surprised you didn't go into nursing because you are.
Okay, well, that's funny because I've been debating about going back to school, but I just don't know if I can
School.
do it.
Yeah,
I mean, I
right.
hate school with a
Fuck.
burning, fiery
Who
passion.
doesn't?
But if I did go back, I would want to do. I'd like to be an injectionist because I've worked in the beauty industry my whole career. So
yeah.
I thought if I did go back, I would just get my 2-year nursing, and then that way I could do injectables and things like that.
Well, then, sign me up.
Yeah, right. Love to have
Sign
somebody like
me
that in the
up.
family.
Yeah. Well, I think Megan is doing. I don't know if she's doing injecting, but she's doing something.
She does
along those lines.
advanced aesthetics.
Okay.
So she can do like, to my knowledge, I don't know this for sure, but I'm pretty sure she can do like a skin pen and some of
Stuff
those
like
types
that,
of things,
like
treatments.
esthetician type stuff.
Yeah, like an advanced esthetician would do. But you have to be an RN in order to do injectables.
Yeah.
Yep.
I keep trying to talk my best friend or one of my friends, Carrie, to do it. She just won't. I'm not interested in that. And actually, Michaela, who was a guest about a month ago, she used to work here. She has talked about going into that field as well.
What is that? So you can just like open up your own shop and
Yeah.
do like Botox and shit?
Botox and
Fillers and
Fuck.
fillers and stuff like that.
Why wouldn't you do that? I feel like you could just make bank.
Oh,
they make good money.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot more money than I've made over the years. I've been in the
gonna say.
wrong profession. I'll tell you that.
right?
Like wrong profession. I worked way too hard and didn't make enough money.
but you never went off on your own either.
I did.
Oh, you did?
I did for a little bit, yeah. That wasn't successful either. I don't think I had a clientele that was quite strong enough to do that. So I ended up back in the salon then.
Okay.
But I haven't been in the salon for 5 years, ever since COVID hit.
I see.
I wasn't going back.
Really.
No. So
Okay.
I've been working from home. I built a salon in my house and
Oh, so you are working then? You-
yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
But I've been through a bunch of surgeries in the past 5 years and stuff. So
On your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Carpal tunnel.
I did carpal tunnel first. That was
Oh,
about 5
that
years
shit's
ago.
fucking brutal.
I was black and blue, you guys, from here all the way back to here with hematomas on both my wrists.
From the surgery or just
Mhm.
no shit?
Yeah. So I did that first,
Holy
and they did both
fuck.
hands at the same time.
What?
So that was really hard.
Why would they?
I
do
mean,
that?
That sounds
They-
like torture.
so they
dude.
claim-
You can't use any hands.
No,
What
I
the
mean,
fuck
I
are you
couldn't,
supposed to use?
right?
Your feet?
How'd
I'm
you
not
go
that
to the
flexible.
bathroom?
I mean, it was terrible.
Can't even wipe my
It
own
was
ass.
terrible. They say though that they want to do both hands at the same time because the
Ah.
recovery is so shitty. They
Yeah.
don't typically people don't come back to do the other hand.
Nice.
So
Marie.
yeah,
That's
so I,
aggressive as fuck.
yeah, I did that first, and then like a year
So
later.
you learned to eat with your feet?
No, I
She's
didn't.
got these
I
long
mean,
legs.
Right?
I don't remember how. I honestly, I don't remember how I did everything. I mean, my son was helpful.
Sure.
His older
Holy
sister came and stayed with me. I had a brand new
fuck.
puppy at the time. I mean, I woke
Oh
up
my
the night
God.
I had surgery,
You
and the
picked, like, the
puppy was
worst-
like unwrapping all my bandages and like pulling, and
Picked
It was
the worst time to
ridiculous.
do that.
I know. Well,
Oh, I
it
got
was
potty
the
trained a
surgery had already
puppy
been
too.
planned, and the puppy came. So whatever. My son's oldest sister came and stayed with us, and she was super super helpful. But yeah, I mean,
yeah, you're
everything was challenging. Yeah,
Yeah.
everything was a challenge.
Yes, bandaged.
I don't remember how long they were bandaged, but it took. I mean, they
Unusual.
told me like 6 to 8 weeks. It was like 12 full weeks
Oh.
of
Oh,
not being able to really do much, and it's painful.
I bet.
And I don't take pain meds,
yeah,
so
I don't either.
I
They
mean,
don't
only when I
really
absolutely
work.
have to. They work for me, but I just know myself, and I don't ever want to be in that position. I mean, that's how Dave ended up in the position he was in. So, and my dad, yes, very much
Yeah,
so.
I've had a couple surgeries and I've got bottles of like Vicodin, oxycodone, Percocet. I can take a couple, slam a few beers, and I'm still I don't feel like
it works.
it doesn't help me sleep, doesn't help me do anything.
Like
But
it
whiskey
wine-
does.
Yeah, whiskey, that'll do it. That'll
Like
do it.
it winds me up. I was like,
Yeah.
like motor.
Really?
mouth.
That's
Oh,
how it
yeah.
affects you?
Yeah.
Gets your heart rate up.
I just can't stop talking.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Percocets I cannot do because I will throw up every time.
Oh,
I don't even think my body's ever really, I don't even know the difference of taking Percocet or Vicodin or any
I
of
had
that.
to take, when I broke my ribs, I got fucked up, of course, a few years back, and I broke my ribs, and they prescribed to me Percocet first, and that was just a nightmare. I'm like, nope, can't take these. So then they switched me to Vicodin, and I literally was on it for like, only a couple, 2-3 days. And it pugs you up. So then you
Oh my gosh. So I didn't know if I should bring it up or not, but I will.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes me so constipated. That's another reason I can't do it. Not only is it dangerous for me, A, and B, that is the worst feeling ever.
Now I'm struggling to go to the bathroom with broken ribs, which hurts already.
Oh.
So I'm like,
sounds miserable.
Live with the broken ribs. I'm not taking this crap anymore.
Yeah.
I've actually found if I alternate Tylenol and like 800 milligrams of ibuprofen or Advil, that actually really does well for me. Yeah. I mean,
I had 600 milligrams of Tylenol, and that seemed to help better than any pain meds.
For when you had your broken collarbone here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next surgery I did, well, a year after I did the carpal tunnel, I felt like I was having pain again in my hands and my wrists. So I went back to the guy that did my carpal tunnel, and he was like, yeah, we could do this. It's maybe this. I didn't feel comfortable when I walked out. Like, that was not a for sure answer as to what is going on. And like, I just went through a horrible surgery. I don't need you guessing.
Yeah, right.
So I referred myself. I didn't even ask for a referral. I referred myself to the Mayo Clinic. My mom's whole side of the family goes, I think my grandparents went for like a hangnail, literally. I mean, they went for everything.
But that's the best in the world.
They are. So I saw a doctor there that specializes in TFCC tears. Okay. He actually invented some of the tools that he uses and the scope during the surgery. So he was amazing, but they'd only do one hand at a time. And it's a 6 to 12 month recovery per hand.
What the fuck?
I know.
Did you do to your hands? Why
I worked way too much. I way overdid it with hair.
Cutting.
I mean, I worked all day in the salon full time, and then I went home.
Tedious things with
all the rotating from round brushing and the cutting and all of it. Yeah. So then it's been a year and 4 months for this hand, and just about a year in July it will be for this hand, and they're still killing me.
They still hurt.
Yeah, still hurt. So I went back a couple weeks ago, and he did an x-ray for me and said, well, you're bone on bone now on both your wrists. So both surgeries were successful previous to that, but now I'm bone on bone. So I have to go in and do surgery again.
On your wrists.
On my wrist.
Are they going to correct that?
Yeah,
so they go in and they shave down bone so that you're not bone on bone. And then, I mean, I don't look up my surgeries like on YouTube or anything. Like, I don't need to know. Just put me under and do it.
I just want to wake up better.
Right. And then he puts in a plate. So he's like, it's going to be a much bigger surgery than what you've had so far. So I'm, just saying my prayers and knowing that I have to do it
for this.
I am going to the Mayo again. I'm going to use the same surgeon that did the TFCC tears. Yep. So he's amazing. He's wonderful.
Well, hopefully that'll correct, everything.
I need it better at this point.
I know.
God.
Right? I got to be done at some point. Yeah. I mean, what else is there to go wrong with your hands and your wrists? I mean, I think that's enough.
I feel like once you get to the shaving bone, you hit the max.
When you say bone on bone, it just makes me cringe.
And it's painful,
I can imagine.
And so he told me, he's like, there's no more smoking. And I quit smoking cigarettes when I did this second surgery, but I vape now.
Boo.
So he's like, no more vaping, no more smoking pot, no more anything. You have to completely be done. So he wants me to come back.
How long before the surgery? Do you have to be off?
3 months completely. So he set me up to come back and see him in 4 months.
Okay.
So by then I have to quit. So I've got like a week left. Counting down the days.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You're just like twitching, just like fuck.
Yeah.
I need a.
It's just, I think more than like the addiction part, like the physical addiction part of it, it's more mental for me, right? Probably. It's like a routine when you do it, and just the oral part of it,
Yeah.
So I know I can do it. If I quit smoking Camel Blues, I can quit smoking a vape.
Yes, you will do it. So
I will do it. Yeah. There's
no choice.
Yeah.
Get better.
Right.
So I got to thinking, when did we meet? Like, were you around? Because I don't remember meeting you as a child. I think
you don't.
Not really.
Okay.
What do you remember? I'm just saying.
Well,
my
I
memory is
remember-
shitty.
I remember Jim marrying you. I mean, we were all so excited.
Oh,
So, and I do have a couple memories even from before when he was married to his first wife.
yeah.
And
A lot of people
my
don't
cousin
even know he
Jesse.
had a first wife.
He did, yeah. Yep. And they had a son together. So I have a little bit of memory about that being at Bob and Jean's and stuff.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm just gonna guess I was maybe 10 when you
Okay.
guys got married.
What was 1991?
Okay, so I would have been 11.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
pretty
okay.
pretty close. Yeah.
So I don't really remember because I feel like you didn't really start coming up for holidays and stuff like that until you could drive. So
Yeah.
the 16, and then we started seeing you more because
Yes.
you were always with your
Yes.
mom's side of the family.
I was. Yes, they were. I was really close with my mom's side. Holidays were huge with them. I mean, there was usually, I don't know, 30 to 40 people.
Yeah.
So it was a big deal. But yeah, once I got to drive, I kind of split up.
Yep.
Christmas, especially, I would do Christmas Eve with my mom's side. That was the big kind of shindig at my grandparents.
Yep.
And then started coming to see the Bonhoff side
Yeah.
the day after.
Yeah. Because I remember you coming, and we would usually do Christmas Eve at their house as well.
I know. So I'd kind of miss out on
But
that.
you sometimes would come really late, like 11 o'clock, because we're all still partying.
Yeah. No, I would come late. And
You're like,
Like-
fuck it, I know there's gonna be
Yeah,
people
we
up
know they're
drinking.
still partying.
yeah, totally. So yeah, I would come later. And actually the last Christmas that I went to at Bob and Jean's was I made Christmas Eve,
Yeah.
and my dad died that following September. So I was so glad I went.
No.
So glad I went.
I bet you I wasn't there because they stopped inviting. Oh. Yeah, I know. We'll get into that.
I mean, I've never heard of such a thing.
Yeah.
You don't just stop inviting people.
Yeah, well,
But I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that happens.
There's a lot of things I don't know either, I guess.
I know. So
You're gonna learn today.
I guess.
I'm gonna learn today. So, yeah, I was gonna say I feel like not the first time, but like the most memorable time of getting to know you better was you were pregnant with Sam.
Okay.
You were pregnant, and you came up. Your dad had that house on the river.
Yep.
And
He was not happy with me, I'll tell you.
and I just remember you look so cute. We got a picture of you because you were pregnant.
I was. Yeah. Yeah.
And how old were you then?
I was 21 when I got pregnant and
Okay.
22 when I had Sam.
Okay, so it wasn't like you were a kid. I mean, you were a kid, but you weren't.
I was, yeah. And I did so much nannying and taking care of
Right.
younger cousins because I'm the second oldest of 20 some grandchildren.
Holy
Jesus.
shit.
So I felt like I had the tools. I knew I was
You're
young.
pretty much already
but
a mother.
I felt like I knew I could do it and I knew I could
For
do a
sure.
good job. It just wasn't who I wanted to be with. And it
Were
wasn't
you
good
ever in
timing.
a relationship with him, with Sam's dad?
Yep.
Like, and for how long?
We were together for like a year and then I left and went to Europe and told him the night before that I was leaving.
You
That
went to
sounds about
Europe?
right.
I did.
Something I didn't know.
Yeah.
It's like, peace, bitch, I'm
Oh,
out
I literally did. I was like, so I'm leaving in the morning.
for fucking Europe.
Yeah. And I'm not going to call you while I'm there.
So you were pregnant or Sam?
Nope. This
born?
was before I got pregnant with Sam.
Holy
Oh.
shit.
Yeah. And I went for a little over a month.
Okay.
And I had just quit. I had just dropped out of nursing school actually. And my mom was like, gosh, well, I wish there was like something that you could do to continue to grow and learn. And I had two girlfriends from high school that were going to go. They had already planned the trip. And I hopped on board the week before.
Nice.
My mom was like, I'll borrow you the money to do it. I think you should go. I mean, these girls have already planned the trip. You could
Yeah,
just kind of
great
tag along. And I was like,
Trip
well,
of
I
a
don't have a
lifetime.
passport. I don't have a passport. And they're leaving in a week.
Oh, yeah.
So her and I, this was
fuck does
before
that work?
9/11,
Oh.
right before 9/11. 9/11 happened and then I left, actually. So we worked full time to get this passport and I picked up the passport on the way to
On
the
the way
airport
to the airport.
to
'Cause
catch
you
my
can
flight.
Get them expedited, but it's not easy.
You can, but they don't expedite them that quick anymore. This was, like I said,
Yep.
just prior to 9/11.
fuck.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
I went and then
And where in Europe did you go?
so we flew in and out of France, in and out of Paris, and we were in France, in Switzerland, which I had no idea how much I would love Switzerland. It's breathtaking, stunning.
Yeah. I imagine.
And then we were in Germany because, of course, you know, my last name's Bahnhof. So I was like, well, I got to do that.
Train station.
Right.
Yeah,
it is train
it is the
train
train station.
And then we went to Italy, and, you know, my mom's side of the family is from Italy. So I went and saw.
So you're Italian German?
I mean, I think I'm only like an eighth Italian, but
Okay.
I mean, I named my son after my great grandpa who was full-blooded Italian.
Okay.
So, yeah, we went to Italy, which was one of my favorites.
I bet.
That would
Yeah,
be
it was
awesome.
wonderful. And then we went down and did the southern part of Italy, southern part of France. Oh, by the way, we rented a car the whole time. And none of us knew any of the languages or how to park or do anything. And then we went back up to Paris and flew out.
So you were just exploring for a month.
Yep.
I was going to say, she better not have gone to Greece.
No, that's my next trip though.
I know. I'll go with you. That's
Yes.
my dream.
Well, my mom and I are going to go actually for like a month. I
Holy
think maybe
fuck.
next summer. So you'll have to come and catch a leg of it or something.
Something. I want to go to Greece. So
Yep, I do too. That's definitely one that I missed out on, but I'll get there.
Oh, we're gonna do our first drink, Shannon. We are gonna do Claw Tales by White Claw. Ollie's favorite.
Oh,
He hates seltzer.
You do.
fuck yeah, I can't
You know, I
stand
used to
them.
drink them more often. Now I'm
Really?
like,
This
I
is
just
not-
really don't love it. But
Percent though, and they say it's,
oh, well, that helps.
it's
As long as I
not a
can't-
seltzer.
Yeah, as long as I can't. It's like that carbonated shit that the real bubbly, like, I don't know,
So
makes you
Here's-
burp and
I've never heard
Blueberry.
of this.
it's
This
blueberry mojito. It's
sounds
the first
delicious.
flavor. It's
Exactly.
pretty new.
I love mojitos too.
I do too.
That's why I
Oh.
picked this flavor. Yeah.
And I love blackberry.
All right, let's give it a whirl. Oh no.
Oh, I like it.
Ooh.
Yeah, it
Definitely
doesn't
taste the mint in it.
taste like a seltzer.
Not at all. It's
No.
not.
No, it's
fizzy.
definitely not as fizzy as.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Delicious.
I could drink it.
Mhm.
I wouldn't, but I could.
I wouldn't, but I could. But if it's
But
all,
I also
somebody
think I could
had-
only have like maybe one or two
I feel like that's all these though. You know,
for sure.
Nah, I could drink.
I
a
always
case
start
of
with
this.
these and then I go to like the vodka.
Right. Or I just use these as a chaser.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I can drink that shit that'll give you gut rot for days. I can just
Like
pound
Mike's,
those. Yeah,
Smirnoffs.
all those things.
I can have like
Remember, like that
mostly 2 Mike's hard lemonades.
What was it,
and
like that?
That's it.
Then my
Russian
stomach
shit
is
that
like-
they used to make, that Stolichnaya Citrona or something. It was like a knockoff Smirnoff kind of deal.
Stoli?
Yeah,
Like a vodka?
I no, it wasn't a. It was like it was almost identical to a. Nope,
No.
that ain't it.
Not Stoli.
It was almost identical to a Smirnoff, but it was just like a Russian version or something. And it was like
That sounds really good. A Russian virgin.
it was like half the price
Ugh,
of like
sounds strong.
Smirnoff.
Of the vodka.
Yeah.
There's a Sobieski.
I don't know what it was.
That sounds Russian.
That's Russian.
Yeah. I don't know what it was, but it was delicious. And I used to pound the fuck out of those
Just
things.
straight vodka?
Yeah.
What a psycho.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, not empty.
I do love a martini on the rock.
I love a Cosmo. That's like
Yes, me too.
I've actually never really had a vodka martini.
You haven't?
Not like
My
the
grandpa-
olive or anything.
Oh, my grandpa used to drink them, but he was a gin martini drinker, and he mixed them in cups at least that big.
Yeah.
No,
That's
I'm not
what
kidding.
talking about.
And he'd have more than one. And it was in the car on our way to dinner. So,
Oh yeah. Oh hi. Can I try something? Yeah. There. What the heck? I said they very much well, what you think? Great. That's good. Isn't that delicious? I like that. We have another flavor too. So what's this one, Shannon? Honey, you want to try this?
This one's strawberry Cosmo.
Ooh, there we go.
maybe right up your alley.
It is.
I found the felony drink.
Oh, it smells like bubble gum.
Oh, gosh, does it? Okay.
I'm a Cosmo drinker. Love them. So we'll see.
Sure.
That sounds the strawberry Cosmo.
I don't mind that.
Ooh.
I kind of like
that
it.
a lot.
It's got a weird aftertaste.
Does it?
Yeah.
Take a sip of your beer. You'll be
Debbie
fine.
Downer over there. Right? Thank you. You're welcome.
I kind of like it.
I like this. I give both of them a 10. What do you give it, Paul?
Yeah.
7.
Yeah, like an 8, I'd say.
I'll give it a 9.
All right.
I'll go right in the middle.
Perfect.
It doesn't have that like White Claw fizzy
No. Definitely
So it's
doesn't have that.
definitely drinkable.
Yeah, agreed.
And it's 7%. Oh, it gets you there faster.
Right. So I mean, and then I'm all in. Actually, I'll have one of those next time.
Oh, here we go. I'm thinking we're gonna go. All right. We talked about Sam very little, but so let's talk about the men in your life.
Oh, there are none.
I know.
There are none. I mean, I'm 45 and I've never been married, so.
I know. Let's start with, well, first of all, let's start with your dad. How about
Okay.
we start? He's a man in your life.
He
In
is
your life.
huge man in my life. Yeah.
How was you've kind of already gotten into it, how your relationship with him was growing up, but like, were you guys close? Like, did he do dad things with you?
No,
Face.
no, not at all. Not even a little.
Not even a little.
Hard pass.
No, yeah, that's a big hard pass. But as I got older and could drive and went and saw him more on my time,
Yep.
because I had to go there every other weekend, and my mom was strict about it. I mean, you're going every other weekend, especially once he married Becky.
Yep.
Because my mom was raising my sister who had special needs, and
Yep.
she needed a break.
Yeah.
So we went there every other weekend, but I think I really got close to him when I could start to drive and became more of a young adult.
Right.
And
And that's why I say I seen you more.
Yes.
So that's where most of my memories are. As
Right.
you were 16 and up.
enough. Yeah. Yeah. So we really grew to have a really great relationship.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I know your dad, about the world of you and Dave, and I think you were his favorite. But,
I didn't know that.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You're gonna make me
You were
cry.
just- I don't know.
I didn't even know that he thought the world
you
of me.
weren't in any trouble or
Yeah, I was pretty good.
You were a good kid.
I just didn't get caught a lot. It's
Yeah, right.
true. Yeah.
Sneaky little
I mean,
fucker.
I
That's how it
was-
was, kind of.
I was not getting caught by my mom.
Oh,
I mean, that would have been hell to face. So my brother,
didn't care.
gone with the wind. Yeah,
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
give a
Zero
fuck.
fucks given.
Zero fucks.
So you're growing up with him. He didn't really do did you go on family vacations?
That's so. You actually sent me a message last night. And you're like, "Do you have a funny?
Yeah.
Do you have a funny,
Or
memory
what's
or
memory
something
of your
funny
dad?
of your dad?" And I was like, "No, he wasn't funny at all. Like not to me.
It's a-
Like he thought he was funny, but I never laughed once. I don't think. But I had my best memories though are all the vacations he took us on.
okay, so
He took us on
did.
so many wonderful vacations.
Like where?
We went to Puerto Vallarta quite a few times.
Oh,
He
lucky.
won
Holy shit.
and by the way, he brought us to this resort and rented the entire top level, which was all glass all the way around.
Fuck.
He went big when he
He
went
was
on big.
a baller.
Baller, holler,
was.
yeah, no shit.
Yeah,
Fucking A.
Yeah. And they went like way out on a limb when they did that one. I mean,
Yeah.
we all had our own bedrooms. It was
Wow.
spectacular.
So that's a
Fuck.
great
Yeah.
memory.
It
Yeah.
is. And then he also won some sort of a trip to Hawaii, and none of us had ever been to Hawaii before.
Okay.
So he took all of us to Hawaii. That was amazing.
Feel
So
good,
was that
bro.
with your mom or with Becky?
With Becky.
Oh, that was
All this is, I don't ever remember a vacation with my mom and dad
okay.
at all.
Okay,
No.
this
So
is
these
your
were all
older.
with Becky.
Okay,
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then when we were in Hawaii, Becky, my stepmom's cousin, lives on Kauai. So she came and met us there. We were on the island of Maui.
Okay.
So
Fun.
it was really fun.
I bet.
She's a,
I kind of remember that Hawaii trip now that you say that, seeing pictures of it and stuff.
yeah, those are all my best memories with him. I'm
Those
so
are
glad
good
that he
memories.
did that.
Yeah.
So I've tried to do that with my son. I know that for me, traveling was
Yeah.
some of the very best memories.
Yes.
So I've tried to, take him on spring break every year. And
Yeah, that's badass.
Where do you guys go?
we go to Florida every year. We drive with my
Okay.
aunt and uncle.
Oh.
So my mom's youngest brother and his wife and myself are all very, very close. Him and I are only 12 years apart.
Okay.
And their oldest son is younger than Sam by like 9 months. So they grew up
Oh, they grew up
as
together
best
then.
friends. Yeah, living
cool.
next door to each other and
Nice.
all that. So that's what we did for spring break.
No, you
Daytona.
still do that? Or
No, Sam doesn't anymore.
right,
But
'cause he's out of school, right?
Oh yeah, he's 22. So
Okay.
he has
Does
no
whatever the
interest.
fuck he
No,
wants.
he does. He has no
He's
interest.
like, I want to hang out with you no
He
more,
lives the
mom.
most spectacular life. I have no idea. I mean, he lives a really fucking cool life. My
Okay.
son does.
All right,
I have
Where
get
in
to
Florida
that.
did you go?
Daytona.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got into that. Last name.
Okay.
Let's
It's
get
real
into-
easy. It's
let's
really easy.
Get into that. So I know you don't go by Bonhoff, you go by Mack. When did you guys change your last name?
I didn't change it. It's still like when I sign on my credit cards, everything is Mac-Bonhoff.
It is.
I've never changed my last name.
Okay.
But
I know Jim was, I don't even know why he was so mad about that.
Well,
you remember
my
that?
mom-
Him confronting you about it?
No, I
Oh,
don't.
yeah.
See, now I don't remember a lot of stuff, and I don't remember that.
What the fuck, Marie? You don't want to be a Bonhoff anymore? Blah, blah, blah. I remember that.
Did I
You-
cry?
I don't think you cried, but you're like, Uncle Jim, it's not that, you know.
It's
I can
not.
see Jim doing
It's
that.
not.
He was mad.
It's not. It was my mom. She hyphenated it. Why in the fuck would you ever give me Marie Victoria Mack Bonhoff?
That sounds
I mean, just
fucking
sign- just
miserable to
sign-
sign that.
Wait, everybody in school slaughtered it.
okay.
Completely slaughtered it.
Right.
And it was Marie Mack. It was the one that she
Simple.
put before. It was super simple. Everybody
Yeah.
could pronounce it. I spent the majority of my time growing up with Max.
Yeah.
Yep. So I just decided to go by Marie Mack. But a lot of people still know me as Marie Mack Bonhoff.
They do.
Mhm.
Okay.
But I just
I
decided
just
to go as that.
remember when
But
that-
legally, I've never changed it.
I thought Steve told us that Vic, your mom, made you change it legally or whatever
She legally changed it to Mack Bonhoff. So
Okay.
she put Mack, her maiden name,
before.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, which was, I mean, I still give her shit about
But
it.
you know,
It was
she
the
can't
dumbest
do
idea
that.
ever.
She can't do that without your dad's permission. So
Oh, he must have signed.
obviously He had to have signed.
I don't
Was
think
that
he had
when
much
you
of
were
a choice at
born
that
or like afterwards.
Oh no, I was Marie Bonhoff until I was
Oh.
Mack Bonhoff.
7. When they got
So-
divorced is when she
That's
changed
when
it.
she
So when you were
changed it.
7, they changed it? What the fuck's you gonna relearn that shit?
Well, yeah, I
hated it from the
Why?
start.
Because
Yeah.
you know, I don't think we realized it until we were quite old, older. Because if it was already changed at 7, we didn't find out about it, or Jim didn't find out about it till later.
My brother went by, so there's already other, like my mom's youngest brother that I was just talking about, his name is Dave
Dave
Mack.
Mack,
David
yeah.
Mack. So my brother was always called Bonhoff by all the Macks,
Yep.
Dave Bonhoff. So he continued to go by Bonhoff.
Yeah, I thought that, but because I don't remember. I don't know. Michelle is Michelle Mack, right?
Well, they changed after Pat adopted her. My stepdad adopted my sister. I think it was right after my dad passed away that he
Did
he adopted her. Yeah, actually, Wayne came to we had like a celebration or whatever of the
Okay.
adoption, which I wasn't real crazy about. But anyway, yeah, Wayne came and Deborah came, which was really nice. And so at that point, Michelle wanted to print her own name and to try to print Michelle Mack Bonhoff again, just like
right,
stupidity.
right.
So we shortened it up, which I like that my mom didn't change her last name to McConnell, which was my stepdad's last name.
She kept it.
I like that she kept it Mac, and she kept it short for Michelle to be able to write and sign her name.
Perfect.
So that's how Michelle ended up Michelle Mack.
Sweet. Well, I didn't know any of that. I guess I thought that you were.
I just dropped it.
legally changed or whatever. Just dropped it or whatever.
Nope.
But just Jim was so irritated.
Nope, I still got it.
Let's do our second drink. It's called Cabana. Oh, we got a whole cocktail. Cabana Crush cocktail. What's in this?
So there is peach schnapps,
Oh, yes.
Malboro,
Yes.
Thank you.
pineapple juice,
Oh,
and cranberry juice.
That sounds good to me.
yeah.
An ounce of each, so it has 2 ounces of booze in each one. Yeah,
What's this white stuff on the top?
I like that the straw is perfectly short.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's not way up here.
From me shaking it.
Yeah, he's shaking it. It's got fuzz in it.
Right? I don't know. That last fucking, what's that Green Goblin shit you fucking served me?
We did a drink.
Oh, yeah.
Ghostbusters, and it
Oh.
had Bailey's in it, and what else was in that? Midori and Bailey's.
But it was like all alcohol, right? And then you pour a little bit of like Kahlua, so it looked like
It was
just
Bailey's.
or Bailey's, whatever. So it looked like curdled milk, just like a stream sitting down
It
there.
did
I'm
look
just like,
like jizz.
ah.
I want to drink.
I'm like, am I being
I don't blame
punked or
you.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Don't you remember that shot when you were young that people
Cement
gave you?
mixer.
Is that the one?
Fuck yeah.
Oh.
The kernels in your mouth. Yeah.
Or there was one.
The
called
thought of it
Brain.
makes
The
you
one
wanna
that makes
vomit.
everybody puke. It's a guaranteed.
I spit it out everywhere. I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck. Absolutely not. No one's doing that to me. I'm not drinking that. No swallowing.
Yeah.
This is really good.
I like
Definitely
it.
give it a 10. We finally have someone that, well, I don't know if you have
Oh.
a boat, but you have access to many boats. So we always talk about, oh, this would
Dibs.
be great on a boat.
Yeah,
Well, here's
right.
one that actually gets to go on boats.
Oh.
My son Sam was on the boat probably 5 days a week he's out with friends.
Is
We
he?
don't have a boat, but
his
all of his friends do.
Right.
Yeah. So he lives a really cool life.
Good for him.
Where does he
He's a
live?
good
Down
kid.
on Minnetonka then or some shit like that?
Yeah,
Of course he
yeah,
does.
that's
Fuck
where
him.
that's where we grew up.
On
was
Big
on
Island or
Minnesota.
some shit.
Yeah.
all weekend,
Yesterday he's
every
like,
weekend?
Mom, how much longer do I have to stay at this wedding? They're all on a Big Island. I'm like, what are you gonna do? Swim up there? They're already all out there.
Fuck
tied
yeah,
up.
that's what I gotta do.
She's like, no, I won't swim. And I'm like, okay, thank God.
Living the rough.
Immediately
Yeah.
regret giving him that decision. You're like, oh fuck, he's probably gonna do that.
Yeah. He's a smart guy, actually. I'm so impressed with him every day.
Oh,
What does he do
he's
for
got a
work?
smart mom.
He is going to he thought about going to trade school. He was going to go for welding and then had this opportunity through his dad's side of the family. They own a commercial roofing business
Oh no.
called Arnon Roofing.
Yeah.
And so Sam is going to be taking that over.
Oh,
Damn.
does he
Yeah.
actually do the roofing, or is he taking over?
No,
like, the-
he is taking
Smart.
no,
Just
so
contract
they
it out and all you
subcontract it out.
motherfuckers do it.
Yep. They all get up on the roof, but he's up on the roof, you know.
assessing, checking
Right,
for
and then-
damage.
Yep, he goes
The
on the
easy
roofs
shit,
and
yeah.
does the
Doesn't-
sales and
yeah,
all that kind of
I
stuff.
done that. I just had my roof.
Oh
redone.
no! I told Sam we need to start to advertise. I mean, we know so many people.
Yeah.
We need to. Anyway, he's been going with his grandpa every day, and his grandpa's going to be 80 soon, so he really doesn't want
So
to
his
do the
grandpa
business.
on his dad's side.
Yep,
okay.
his grandpa Steve. Actually, they're both Steve.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, so he has been kind of mentoring through his grandpa and learning the ropes and learned some from his uncle. And so him and his dad will be taking over the business, but his dad doesn't really do anything. Like,
Did he ever?
Nothing.
Made sound.
Nothing. Yeah, he did. And he made a really handsome boy. But he is a great dad to Sam. I will say that. He calls Sam way too often.
So no, going back to him, were you together
No.
after Sam at all?
Oh, yeah, we tried again.
Okay.
But I came back from Europe and never called him when I got back for 6 months.
Jesus Christ.
And then one night I was drunk and I was like, oh, I'm in the area. I'm in Uptown. I'll just see what he's doing. And that
What
was
are you
it.
That
One
was
time.
it.
I mean, I know it only takes one time, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was it. I remember the dress I was in. I mean, we got done and I was like, I know it. I know.
I'm already pregnant.
Yeah.
I know it.
Fuck my life.
Well, what do you do?
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
What
I
a
wouldn't
child.
change it
fuck.
for the world. I
That's
wouldn't
fucking
change it.
hilarious.
Yeah,
He's beautiful.
he is a
Inside and out.
beautiful boy. That's for sure. So we're gonna get into your brother.
Okay.
Okay, so you, brother is David. I know as adults, like you guys were best friends.
We were as kids too.
You were okay. That's where I was
Super,
gonna go
super
with it.
close.
I never really knew, like, so you guys were always super close.
What's your age difference?
3.
Three?
Just less than 3 years, yeah.
So about a year difference than my brother.
And we went through a lot as kids, and I think that really bonded us.
Yeah.
We were a support for each other. You know, my sister was very, very sick, and
Yeah.
you know, our parents had divorced, and then both parents were
Were
married.
you happy
and-
that your parents divorced?
my mom said I had a hard time with it at first, but yeah, I think I always had a hard time with it. Not because
I wanted my mom to divorce my dad.
I love
My whole life.
I'd always
She never
That's
did.
weird.
I'd always said, looking at it, you know, once I was a young adult, I'm so glad that they got divorced and my mom didn't subject us to all the fighting and
Yeah.
all the, you know,
Bullshit,
abuse
right.
and shit. So, but I wasn't happy about her remarrying. That was a hard one. Really hard one for me.
Is it?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
No, why? Because of him or?
Yeah, all of it.
Oh,
And I think it was, you know, my mom and I kind of against the world because Michelle was so sick
Mhm.
and David was younger than I was.
Oh.
So I really, really, really stepped in. I mean, my mom said I would count the amount of diapers that were in the diaper bag before we left to make sure we had enough while we were out and about from my sister.
you're such a motherly person. Like, you
Yeah.
always are wanted a caregiver for everybody.
Yes. I've since the loss of my dad and my brother, though, I've tried to be a lot better about that because I spent my whole life just taking care of everybody else,
Yeah.
not taking care of
take
myself.
yourself.
Right.
Yep.
But yeah, I never, I think I really struggled with it until I was an adult, till I could look back and say, yeah, they were not meant to be together at all. And I think it was good, you know, and everything happens for a reason.
Right.
You have to try to find the good in everything.
I agree. With David, he as a wild child. Let's Let's just say what
He
it
had
was.
Mack in him, which are
And Bonhoff.
and Bonhoff. So yeah.
So, like, how did you skate that? Because, like, you said, oh, I didn't ever get caught. So maybe you did a lot more wild things than I know of. But
Well,
Dave didn't
Yeah.
make it a secret. Like,
Hear
No.
about that sneaky shit you
he
did.
was
you
just a
didn't tell no
fucking
one.
little
I-
raiser.
he was. I was just much more careful because I didn't want to get caught. But I think once you kind of break in your parents, you know, Dave was like, well, you know, here. Well, no, he went like,
Yeah.
Push the limit on every
Oh, yeah.
single fucking
Yeah.
thing he could
What?
possibly
and he
do.
did not give a fuck.
Yeah.
Dave was super fucking funny.
Oh my gosh.
So what? Tell
He
me
was
a
the
funny
best.
story about Dave.
Oh, the
One of your
fucking
fondest memories.
craziest thing.
Oh
you did.
my gosh.
Our craziest thing you can remember.
Can you talk about drugs on this?
Yeah. Well, we can't really talk about Dave unless we talk about
Well, drugs. Yeah. Gosh, I have so many wonderful memories with him. He was my best friend. So
Right.
we did
Yeah.
everything together. We cooked together.
Yeah.
We drank together. We did everything together. But I remember being 16 and I had this little Audi coupe. That was my stepdad's old car, stick shift. So
Oh,
David
yeah.
he'd sit in the passenger side and I had like 2 or 3 different bongs in my trunk and they all had cases and shit. I'd have a jug of water in the back to fill it up, you know, and dump it out. So he would go down on the floor and suck one up in the bong for me. And then, you know, at the last second before the light was ready to turn, I would take the hit and then go up and
God,
down.
what a stoner.
But we never, I don't know, I
Yeah.
guess we never got caught doing that. But yeah, he was, I don't know.
While
I guess
you were
that's-
driving?
Yes,
with
while I
us?
was
See,
driving.
and
Yeah.
I'm worried about, I was like, our generation fucking texting and driving. It's like, motherfucker, we were one knee and fucking flipping books of fucking shit,
Yep,
taking
yep.
bong rips. It's like, I
Yeah.
could literally
Agreed.
make a sandwich and fucking drive down the interstate straighter than half these
Well, you
motherfuckers
literally
driving
took a
this.
shit driving down the
Yeah.
highway.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some
We
fucked
talked
up
about
shit
it.
I did.
But you know, back then you have to think too, the weed was different. It had beaners in it and shit.
Yeah,
It wasn't the kind of weed that we have
Yeah,
around
no,
now, right?
yeah.
Right.
And the wax that they smoke and all this shit. I
I
mean,
don't even know.
That
'cause
shit,
I
dude.
don't do any
Like,
of that
I
stuff.
hadn't.
my son Sam had me try it before
Yeah.
I was going to leave for Daytona. I had like 10 sandwiches out that I was making. I totally retired on the whole thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't make a sandwich.
You-
I can't do
You
anything.
can't function after
No.
that shit.
Nope.
My neighbor, he smokes that wax, and it's like when I was younger, I had, I don't know, a few joints here and there. I was never really big into weed. I'd only smoke it when I was shit faced.
Yeah, I've never seen you smoke weed.
Yeah. So then, like, I don't know, this had to be a few years back when I was messed up on with my hernia surgery. So I was out. I knew I wasn't going to be working, knew I wasn't going to be drug testing. I went over to his place and took a hit of that wax. I came home and I sat on the fucking ottoman in front of the TV for like 6 hours. My girlfriend's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm just like, I don't know. I got to go to bed. I just went to bed. And I sat there for like 6 hours
Just zoning.
just like I couldn't fucking do anything. You literally can't. It's like just done. You're game
That
over.
reminds me of when after Jim died and you came up to like do my hair and
Oh my God, did I get you super stoned?
Don't you remember that?
I swear I do now. Uh-oh.
We're going to shoot. He
Flashbacks.
does my hair and I'm gonna look all pretty and stuff like that. And then we're like, let's go. It's like
Go
8 o'clock at
somewhere.
night. Let's go somewhere and go get something to eat, like a pizza or something like that. And so we get in her car and we had been drinking wine already, but not a lot.
Right.
And you're like, do you want a hit? And she'd smoking a doobie or whatever, or a joint or a one hitter. It was a one hitter.
That's all I smoke. I'm a one-hit wonder.
Yeah, as a
baby.
one hitter. She gives me this weed, and I'm like, I don't smoke weed ever, so
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck it, I don't care.
Right?
I did one hit,
One hit. Yeah.
because I know, like, I don't do this stuff
Right.
ever. Holy crap! By the time
Well, I like to get the good stuff.
By the time we
If you're gonna
left
smoke
my
it.
house, Paul to Shooters. That's where we were going.
So literally
I
like
was
5 fucking minutes.
Wasted high, like, and I then had the paranoid. comes. Do you remember sitting on the steps of the
Yep,
bar?
that is what I remember is sitting on the steps of the
Oh.
bar.
I sat on the steps of the bar because I go, I can't go in there. Like, I can't go in there. They're all gonna-
Boogeyman's in
They're
there.
all gonna know.
They're all gonna know I'm fine.
Nobody's gonna know. They're gonna know.
That's just the paranoia, but we all think people are gonna know. But
Funny enough, it was Donnie Brooks, Michaela's dad, was
Oh,
the one
yeah.
in there. And I kept looking through the window. I'm like, Donnie's gonna know. God damn it.
He walked
Donnie's
in. He's
gonna
like,
know. I
"You're
can't go
fucking
in
stoned,
there."
aren't you?"
He sure as shit did.
Did he?
Oh, did he? He goes, what's wrong with you?
Oh boy.
Oh,
But
Well,
we
leave it
sat
to
out
me.
on the steps for probably a good half an hour before
That
I'd even go
sounds-
in the door.
Well, I just did it to my mom not too long ago.
That sounds about
Oh
right.
my gosh. I had to like bring her inside and put her to bed, sneak her in the side of the house. It was
I did that to my neighbor accidentally last
I'm gonna tell you
weekend.
about my neighbor. I did it too.
Oh, geez.
Poor boy ended up in the hospital.
Oh, Marie.
Yes.
My neighbor doesn't smoke weed, and I was shit faced last week and whatever. And Brittany, she drinks these THC drinks, right? Whatever.
Mhm.
So they're in the fridge, and I just grabbed them a can. I wasn't thinking nothing of it. Didn't really pay attention what I grabbed them. I just grabbed them one. Thought it was like a fucking high noon or something. And he's drinking it and whatever. But he said he hadn't had nothing to eat, and I was smoking a cigar, like a Maduro, a dark one, and those things will fuck you up if you don't eat. Kind of, they can make
cigar will?
they can make you sick.
Like sick
And-
to your stomach
yeah.
or like fucked up?
Yeah, well, you kind of get like lightheaded, and I don't know, I get weird on it, but fucking, I was asking him like, hey, I'm like, how are you feeling? You okay or whatever? Because he was taking a couple hits, so I didn't think nothing of it. And then next day he's like, what the fuck did you give me? I'm like, I don't know. I gave you a fucking cigar. He's like, I thought it was weird because you kept asking me if I was okay. I'm like, yeah, because that cigar. And he's like, and it turns out I gave him a weed drink. And he's like, I sat outside my house for like, no, I didn't know either. I think Brittany knew and didn't say nothing. And she's kind of like looking at me and I'm looking at her. I'm like, what? So now that I think about what happened and why she was looking at me, I'm like, well, that makes sense why she was kind of staring at me with that dumb look. Like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh,
But then he's sitting there, he's like, I got to my house and he's like, I think I stood outside my door for like 45 minutes trying to figure out how to get in the house.
Oh my
He's like,
gosh.
it wasn't even locked. I felt so bad though. I'm just like, oh, fuck, bud.
What did you do?
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Whoops. So now I got to pay attention.
What did you do to your neighbor? Ended up in the hospital.
Yes,
Oh,
and
that's
I wasn't
aggressive.
even there at that night. I don't know. He asked me like, "Can I try like one of your gummies or something?" So I was like, "Sure, just take half of it." You know.
Yep.
And then they never take half.
No, I think he did only
Oh,
take
really?
half, but he doesn't smoke pot on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, the next day, I find out he was in the damn emergency room, and I was like, "Oh no!" I
Well-
really fucked that one up.
So what did
He was fine. I mean, I think he had to tell him.
anxiety?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think his heart rate was
Yeah.
different, and you know
they
those
probably thought he
gummies.
was
The
having a
gummies, you
heart
never
attack.
know. Those are a real question
Well,
mark.
like some teacher accidentally give a bunch of her students
No.
fucking gummies because they were like the Sour Patch Kids. I guess the package almost looks identical. And she ended up giving like 2 or 3 of the kids, and they would have probably never found out. But a couple of the kids, same thing, kind of like had like
A
high heart rate,
reaction.
panic attack, kind of felt weird.
What
and-
the?
yeah, and
I
then
didn't
went to the
know that.
hospital.
I didn't hear
Yeah,
that either.
yeah.
Was that in Minnesota?
I don't know where that
Oh.
was. I don't know if it was Minnesota
Oh, she
or
had to
not.
have gotten fired.
Oh yeah, I'm sure she'd done.
Oh, she's fucked.
yeah.
Completely fucked.
She
I mean,
done.
she lost her teacher's
You're
license
done.
and she's not getting tenured.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, right?
So we got into Dave a little bit. Now we're gonna go into how both of your dad and your brother have passed away.
Yep.
They were both addicts.
Yep.
And both of them died because of it.
I mean, technically, that's not what my dad died from, but it
It
was
was.
all the years of abuse on his
Yeah.
system. His
Yeah.
it
You
he
can't
just couldn't
go,
do it anymore.
You can't go that long and run at that high of a speed and not burn out sooner or later.
Right.
He burned his insides out, literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
So when did you realize your dad was an addict? Like, how old were you? Did you know, like, when you were a kid, or did you understand?
Yes, and I think the first I can tell you right now, the first time I realized that there was something really, really wrong was him and my mom were separated, and he was living with this gal in Mound.
Okay.
And he wanted to take us for the night. So this gal, whoever he was living with, I think she was trying to like keep him sober or something. She didn't do a very good job, obviously. But
That was no one gonna keep him sober except
no, yes, 100%. And we know that. We know so much more about addiction now than we've ever known.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were there. We were spending the night. David and I were, and all all of a sudden he starts pulling everything out of the closet. His towels are going everywhere and he's pulling everything out of the closet. So he thinks there's somebody watching him from in the closet or something.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's
Totally
paranoid.
paranoid. So I don't know if he was doing coke or what he was doing.
Probably.
But super, super, super paranoid. And we ended up having to be driven home in the middle of the night. And he was super mad. So once this
Who drove you home?
gal that he was
Oh,
living
so
with,
she said,
she brought
"You
us
don't wanna
home,
see it."
and my dad followed her. And so
All
once
tuned up.
we got into the house, he was banging on all the windows, screaming and hollering at my mom. I mean, I was so afraid. So my mom, she said, "Did you lock the downstairs sliding door?" And I said, "No, I didn't." So I ran down there to lock the sliding door because we had all the other windows and doors locked. And he was coming down the hill at the same time, and I met him at the door, and I locked it so he couldn't come in the house. And that was horrible. I mean, he was so angry with me, and I was 7 or 8.
Gosh.
No, I would have been younger than that. They were still married. I would have been probably 6 or 7.
That's crazy.
6, 5 or 6. But yeah, that's when I knew that there was a major problem.
So at that young of age,
Yes.
you knew that there was
Yep.
something wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I had never met anyone that was acting like that.
But you didn't think it was alcohol. You knew it was something
I knew it was
else.
something else. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, because your dad, when I met him in 1988, he, when did your parents divorce? What year?
87, because I was 7, so, and I was born in 80, so 87.
Okay.
87.
So he hadn't been divorced that long.
Right.
And I met him.
Right.
So and I knew he was running like wild. He was running wild, but so was Jim. So they both
He ran wild while he was married to my mom, so I know he ran buck wild when he
Well,
got
and I think
divorced.
I know Jim ran wild when he was married to his first wife.
Oh, yeah.
So he just told me enough stories that I know that like I can see why you guys got divorced.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
There's not a fucking chance I'd put up with that bullshit.
He was so different with you. I mean,
what
he
everybody
changed like almost unrecognizable, you
Oh.
know? I mean, he was obviously very recognizable because of his stature and
Yeah.
his personality and everything.
Yeah.
But he
Yep, you're not
grew-
gonna miss that guy.
No, you're not. No, you're not, definitely.
No.
And
he
my brother-
always told me that if I hadn't met you, I would have been dead. Like the road that he was going down was not a good road.
No.
And he said, I thank you for my life because I know that I probably would have never survived.
Right.
You know, had I not met
No, yeah,
you.
he
And
changed big time for you.
I know.
Big time.
And when people say that people don't change,
That's
you're
one that
never
did.
going to make somebody change. And I don't think I made him change.
No,
He
I
just
think-
wanted to be a better person.
He did. You made him want to be a better person. You
Yeah.
made him want to grow up and be a husband.
Yeah.
And that was so cool.
Yeah.
I loved that about. And do you remember when he used to kick his boot, the heel of his boot back?
Yeah.
I'd catch my brother doing that all the time.
Oh, really?
Like little things like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely
Dave
those
was
little-
definitely a Bonhoeffer.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. And yeah, he was the last one to actually blood, anyways, to carry the last name.
He was. Yeah.
And now
Oh my gosh.
Dave
No,
has
wait,
a
Wayne.
son.
Wayne has the last name still. Is Wayne gone?
No.
Oh
he's
my gosh,
still-
I was
but
gonna
I
say.
mean, to carry it on. He's
Oh, right.
you know,
Right.
the
Okay.
legacy.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying.
So does Dave's son have-
after Dave passed away, his stepdad, which is now his dad, adopted him,
okay.
and they changed his last name.
They did.
Dave wanted to name him Wayne, and
Oh.
his girlfriend was like, "Absolutely not, not Wayne, Wayne." So his middle name is Wayne.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
Huh. Yeah, I wouldn't. have
But he-
known, but
he did have
what
Bonhoeffer
his
at the
name
beginning.
is Jax, right?
Jack,
Oh, Jack. It is
Jack, Jack
Okay.
Wayne, and it was Bonhoeffer. Now it's Rosengren.
Okay. Because Colton, we changed his last name to Bonhoeffer when he was going into kindergarten.
I didn't know that.
So
Oh, you
he
did?
carries the last name, even though he's not blood or whatever, but he does carry that last name.
Yeah,
No.
huh?
Because like Tony doesn't.
No, he doesn't. But he was
Even
going to
Becky didn't.
No, never.
And neither did Deborah. I was the
Really?
only daughter-in-law that
That
took
changed-
the Bonhoeffer last name.
Really?
They all kept their last names.
Very odd. I mean, I want to change my last name. I've been waiting. That's the only reason I haven't changed it legally, because I'm like, one of these days, I'm going to be able to change my last name.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be like a Mac Bonhoeffer,
Oh, hell no.
whatever.
No,
Just
absolutely not.
hyphenate the fucking. We're just gonna keep hyphenating out.
No,
Like,
and
like-
Victoria's my middle name, so imagine how long. I mean,
Oh
that
my
makes it
God.
Right?
Yeah,
You're like, no wonder you got carpal fucking tunnel.
yeah,
You're
right.
just sitting there,
Signing all that
Fuck,
shit.
for fuck's sakes, I'm almost done. Here,
You're like,
fuck.
she's still signing.
You just, yeah. Can I get another pen?
Oh, goodness.
But Tony actually was going to change his name. He thought about it for a long time. He's got a big tattoo right here that says Bonhoff. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Becky never took the last name.
No,
so
she didn't.
Tony just kept her. And
Right.
Like Lou Allen is like a truck driver's name. She
Yeah.
married when she was 18.
So
Was
that's
he a
whose
truck
last name it
driver?
was?
Yes.
I thought that was her
No.
her biological dad's last name.
No. Lou Allen was when she got married, her first marriage, she was 18 to the
Yeah, I
truck
know
driver.
that. I didn't know he was a truck driver.
Yep. Like this older guy too. Like she was 18 and he was like in his 40s.
What?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. That's whose last name she's still curious. And it's a beautiful last name. I
Oh,
like it.
yes.
And Tony curious. So somebody that he doesn't even like know.
Well, and Tony never met his real dad either.
No, I know. But real dad didn't want to.
Right.
Yeah, which is shitty, but
Yeah, but he my dad was really hard on Tony.
I know.
I think even harder on Tony than he was on Dave.
I know.
But
that's-
boy, he still towards the end, when my dad was still alive, Tony spent a lot of time with him. He
Yeah,
lived there. They
he
two
lived
of them
there.
just lived together. Becky had already moved out. So yeah, they grew to have a good relationship, which
Yeah.
thank goodness, things like that do happen for a reason. I think Tony was really able to see that my dad really did love him and cared about him.
Yeah.
One of the
Even
best
Colton
ones.
and Jim, they definitely had their issues. I mean, and this is honest to God's truth. Jim was jealous of the relationship that I had with my own son. And it seems stupid to say that, but he admitted to me that he was.
Really?
Yeah.
Why would he be jealous?
That's interesting.
I don't know and I think this is I do know Colton was super cute, like super good in school, like a super good kid, and like everywhere we went, like everybody would be like, "Oh my God, he's so freaking
He
cute."
was beautiful.
So cute. Everywhere we went, he would get complimented, or I would get complimented. Your son is so handsome, and blah 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 blah. And for whatever reason, that irritated Jim. And he told me one time when he was really upset in getting into a deep conversation that he felt like his son Jesse didn't get that, like wasn't super cute and stuff like that. And this is just repeating what he said to me.
Because I remember Jesse being really cute too.
Yes, and I've seen pictures of him when he was little, but like and I think it had to do with he was super crazy about me being with somebody else. And I think that is what the bottom line was.
I think when
I had a kid with somebody else, Colton wasn't his kid.
Yeah.
So he was jealous of that this kid got all of this cuteness and good looks, and
it wasn't
da, 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 da.
something that he created.
it wasn't
with you.
something, it
Right.
was something that somebody that now I hated and he hated and created. But I'm like, I can't take it back.
No, you can't take it back. You have a beautiful son out of the deal. But I think just speaking for both of us as single moms, and when you have a boy as a single mom,
Yeah.
your bond, not that you don't with a girl, with a daughter, but that bond with a boy is
think it's-
just, there's just something about it. I mean,
agree.
I've heard many times that, it's a different bond than you do have with a daughter. And as single moms,
Yeah.
I think we did everything we could to be the one best parent that they had.
Yes.
Right. And so I think your bond was probably a lot stronger.
Right.
And that probably could have made him jealous too. I don't know.
And I just feel like Steve did with Tony, I feel like he picked on Colton a little bit more than what he should have, and was harder on him than. But then
I agree.
Then I always go and I think, well, he did the things that he did because he wanted him to be a man. He wanted him to be a man and da 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 da. But I just felt like some of the stuff that he did.
It was premature. He didn't need to be a man at 8 years old. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he wanted to make him
Yeah,
strong and like a man. But
Right.
my dad,
Could've
same
done
thing with
it a
Tony.
few years later, in
Right.
life, yeah.
Or just used things that were appropriate for the timing.
Right.
Like,
yeah,
let's make him strong, but he can still cry. He's a kid.
right.
Right. And that's, yeah. I mean, they were Bonhoffs.
They were.
Uh,
They were Bonhoffs, that's
not.
for sure.
They were like when it come to men's stuff, like men things. Now, had Colton been a daughter, it would have been a whole different thing,
Right.
I think. So I
Very
don't know.
different.
Yeah. And I felt like you said dad treated you differently than he did Dave.
He treated me differently?
Yeah. Did he not?
No, I don't
Oh.
feel like he treated me any differently. That's why I didn't know like I was his favorite or anything.
Oh, yeah.
Him and Dave got so close once it came to Dave's teenage years, where he would ride along in the truck with him and go on jobs and all of that.
Yeah.
They really grew I feel like later in life they grew to have an even tighter bond because they worked together and stuff, and they did drugs together. So
That's
Riding around the truck,
Right?
doing drugs.
That's
What do they do? What do you do for work?
they're
Pipe
both
fitters.
pipe fitters.
Oh,
Tony's a pipe fitter too.
yeah. I see Tony all the time. Actually.
You do?
Have you seen him?
I got together with him and Becky maybe like a year or two ago.
Oh, okay.
Maybe no, I had this car, so within the last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love seeing him. You know, he's my brother no matter what.
Yes, he is.
There's no question. I've never called him my stepbrother.
Right.
He's my brother. We're like, you know, when my mom remarried, those are my stepbrothers, and I don't have a relationship with them.
Yeah.
Really. But yeah, Tony's my brother. I mean, he's
Tony
always been. He was around.
3.
He was like 2.5 or 3 when he came into my life. And he had the cutest little bowl cut. I swear Becky like took a scissors and like put a bowl on his head and went around.
we had that.
He
back
was
in
the
day.
most adorable little boy. I mean, I remember being, because I guess I was kind of motherly.
Yes.
So I was just head over heels for him. Yeah, he was adorable.
And I knew Tony when the minute he was born.
I know. And
It
then
was
we
such a
realized that
weird
too.
thing.
Yeah, very weird.
So I introduced your dad.
I
and Becky.
know. Yeah,
I
at a
was out
wedding,
on a
right?
date with Jim at the freaking VFW in Princeton.
Oh, I thought you guys
Alright.
were at a wedding when they met.
No, we were at the VFW in Princeton, and maybe it was a wedding. I don't know, or a reception or something like that. But we were at the VFW in Princeton, and Becky was there, I think, with her mom. And Jim and I just stopped in there, and then Steve was in there. We weren't even with Steve, I don't think. And Steve happened to be in there, so then I introduced them to, and that was like one of Jim and we were like maybe a month or 2 into dating at that point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was very early.
Oh, I didn't know that.
because then they got married long
before
we
you did?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, like 2 years before. I don't think they met and like boom, boom, they hit it off and flew off to Vegas and got.
Yeah, I remember my dad coming to a birthday party. I don't remember. Maybe it was Dave's birthday party because we were at like that Yogi Bear campgrounds or whatever. Some
Ah.
shithole.
We went to one in Wisconsin. It was badass.
Yogi Bear.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not really into camping,
Oh.
so I just am not a camper. I mean, I'll glamp or I'll do I love
Fucking
doing.
bougie.
No, I'm not bougie like that. I like to just be able to like have a camper at least so I can go to the bathroom and like
Right.
A
You
shower.
don't want to go to the outhouse.
no, not particularly.
Yeah.
I don't. And I would rather like have. I mean, I've slept. I did it for Sam. My friends went camping with their kids every year, so I did it with him quite a few years where I took him and we camped in a tent and all of that stuff. But yeah, I mean, every time you walked in there's grass all over my bedding. There's bugs
Doing it
everywhere.
wrong.
It's hot
Doing
as
it
fuck.
wrong.
Yeah. Your
But yeah.
air mattress goes flat.
Right?
When you're
Halfway through
laying
the
on it.
night.
Yeah.
Ugh.